Hello everybody, it is I again. So, as you can see, I did create another page for Tune Love Island. This is a second kind of, casting. We were looking for more VAs. By the time this comes out, episode 5 will be out. So we're halfway through the series. I've been asked about, when we're gonna add new tunes and stuff, and problem is, it would be very difficult to give each tune their storyline. It would come to at least like 20 episodes. And I'm trying to wrap this up by like episode 8 or 9 or 10. So we're halfway through. I am so thankful for all of the support. I just want to say that. Super duper thankful for everybody who has auditioned. Super thankful for all of my VAs. Super thankful for my artists. Super thankful for just everybody who has been watching this. Whether you've applied or you're just kind of watching it as a viewer and enjoying it, thank you, because it's something that we've been working on and it means a lot to me, and I never ever expected it to get this big. So thank you. The reason I decided to create a new project for it is because we were flooded with over 600 and 1600 auditions. It's a lot to go through, and also because I don't want people applying to closed roles. If you don't know, when a role is closed and filled, it will say closed. So a lot of people kind of still ignore that and choose to apply. So I just don't want you guys wasting your time applying for a tune that already has a VA. So I decided to make a second project to follow it. There are currently 13 roles available. It is the exact same overview as I gave in the original TLI casting call, which you can find through the link right here. This is the original, and this is the second one. And these are the tunes that we're gonna need. We're gonna need a Blot, a Brightney, Connie, Goob, Looey, all of these tunes that I'm showing here. Some of these tunes, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with them yet. But most of these will only appear in one episode. As you see, a lot of these say that they'll only appear briefly. I'm just kind of looking for some people who are interested in, maybe just, doing a quick little take of the tunes. This will not be needed for another couple episodes, so the deadline is in a month. It is on July 3rd, 2026. And so you have plenty of time to apply and audition. As always, in order to be considered, you will need to have Discord. Discord is a non-negotiable. If you do not have Discord, I'm very sorry, but I will not be accepting your audition or your application because I need to be able to communicate with you guys. In my Discord server, which by the way, shameless promo, go ahead and join it. My Discord server has a private VA channel where I send out the script, I communicate with them, I give them early access to the episode, and overall it's really fun. We're able to, make streams and, things like that, and it's a really fun, environment, but I do need you to have Discord so that I can communicate with you. Second thing is you must have a good sounding recording. So I'm not looking for professional quality. We have had some professionals, it's insane, but I'm not looking for fancy equipment. So if you don't have like a super, good quality, whatever microphone, or it's super expensive, that's totally fine. All I need is for you to make sure that there's not so much background noise. And if there is, I just need you to kind of, decrease that. So if you have a fan on, turn it off. If you have a TV on, turn that off while you're recording. Because, honestly, like, we do need you to have some kind of clean sounding recording. Thirdly, if you're chosen, you must be able to deliver your files in an audio file. So those are two different ways you can do. You can do an MP3 or you can do a WAV. More info will be given out if chosen. I send you a form and you fill it out, and we kind of, figure out how you're going to send your audios to me. Final last thing is that you must be able to deliver audios on time. Thankfully, all of our VAs have been so lovely. They always deliver on time, even earlier, and I'm so thankful to have found this really cool team of people. So you do just need to kind of be punctual, be on time, and yeah, those are basically the only things you really need to be considered. Also, you do need to be 13 plus, and the reason for this is because you must be able to have Discord, and Discord's TOS, you need to be at least 13. So that is something to keep in mind, but like I've said before, you do not need to have experience. All I need is somebody who is passionate, somebody who's interested, and you do need to have a good sounding recording. But that's basically it. As a reminder, this is not paid. My VAs have made fun of me a lot for this.
No!
Finally!
No!
We don't get paid to do this, guys. This
I
is
told you guys you didn't get paid! but this is voluntary. You can add this to your portfolio, and you will of course get credits at the end of each episode that you're in. So I do want to kind of break down what I'm looking for each tune. There are some that I kind of gave some vocal tones that I'm looking for, but for the majority, they all just have this message that says you will only appear briefly. So for Blot, no matter what you sound like, I will be reversing your voice and adding in subtitles to make it, you know, the canon Blot that speaks backwards. However, again, you will be, you know, here briefly. All of these basically will, unless I decide to change my mind, but that's what I'm looking for Blot. For Brightney, you know, I do want you to be a little bit more, you gotta be a little bit more friendly. You know, she loves reading, so I gave this example line for you to read. For Connie, I definitely want you to be a bit more playful. I'd like you to be a little bit, you know, kind of like you're hiding something. I feel like her and Gigi have a very similar energy. So, you know, once you hear the Gigi VA in episode 5, you can kind of track on that.
What's up, viewers? I'm Gigi. The vibe here seems messy, which I don't mind.
Again, gave you a line. Gooby Wooby, you will need to be very cutesy. I'm not looking for a full-on baby, you know, but I am looking for a very soft voice. You know, he's excited to see his sister, so I added in that line. For Looey, I'm not exactly quite sure which direction I want to go in with Looey, so feel free to experiment with that. You can either go the very energetic route or you can go a calmer route. However, you know, since he is in a circus, you know, he is very friendly. He is does have, you know, some kind of energy to him. I do plan on him, you know, maybe saying this in an episode. So, you know, maybe be like, oh, hey, Yada, like something like that. That's kind of what I envision for Looey. Razzle and Dazzle. This is a very good one. Razzle and Dazzle is a very good one if you have a larger vocal range. What I mean by that is if you're able to do 2 distinct voices using just yourself. For Razzle, he's obviously very friendly, very outgoing. I want him to sound a little game showy, but I do not want him to sound hyper at all. So do keep that in mind. And for Dazzle, he is very nervous. He's calm. He's tranquil. He's a little unsure at times. So I did add in separate lines for each of them that I would like you to read in 2 distinct voices. So again, this is a very good character for those of you who have a larger vocal range. Bobette, Bobby, she is very cheery and friendly. She's excited about Christmas. I would love for her to sound like Milk in the Microwave, which is like her canon voice from The Perfect Christmas. So if you can sound like that, you got the part. Flyte is a tricky one. I don't exactly know what I would like him to sound like. I do kind of think of him a bit more masculine. So, you know, maybe if you're able to bring out a bit more of a masculine tone of voice, definitely try to do that. Eclipse, I see her as very fun. You know, I don't see her as a crazy kind of tune. I don't see her like Yata, but I do see her as fun. I see her as outgoing. She's very wild, and I'd love to hear a howl. So if you know how to howl, maybe apply for her. Eggson, I want you to bring in that vocal strain. I want you to bring in that old sounding voice. You know, you can add in an extra line, talk about, you know, how the olden days were, whatever you would like, but that's what I envisioned for Eggson. For Ribecca, I envision her kind of like I did Gigi and Connie. She's very sarcastic, very chill, so definitely try to bring that a bit when you're auditioning for her. Finally, our final Christmas tunes. Ginger, I would love for her to sound very friendly. She's excited to see her cousin Cosmo. And then for Rudie, you must be crazy about Christmas. Like, honestly, we got to get Canon Rudie up in here. You have to sound very excited about Christmas. Christmas is all that you think about. Christmas is what you eat, sleep, breathe, drink, everything. So definitely bring on that festive energy, even though we're in like the summer almost. That's basically it. I just kind of wanted to come on here and kind of share my vision. If you're interested in applying, I will have the link in the description. It will also be in my bio, in my link tree as well if you're watching this on TikTok. And I'm very excited to see what you guys bring. And I just want to end this video by once again thanking everybody. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to every single voice actor. Thank you to our artists. Thank you so much to just everybody who's been able to make this possible, whether you've auditioned or whatever it may be. Thank you for supporting this vision that I've had. It genuinely means a lot to me that people are even interested in this. So that's why I made a separate project, because I just didn't want to, you know, mix in the 1,600 applicants that we got in before with these new tunes. And I just want everyone to kind of be on the same page. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys once again. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'll do my best to answer all of them. And best of luck to everybody who auditions. I cannot wait to hear you guys. And as always, I wish you all a wonderful day. Stay safe and remember that you are very, very, very loved. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.